Hey guys, appreciate you joining us today. We're going to answer the question, how much food do you feed your broiler chicks? So there's a lot of debate over this. We're going to show you what we do and maybe answer a few questions. So stick with us on today's video. Well, I'm walking into the garage. We are going to be getting our food ready. So we feed our broiler chicks twice a day. Really just trying to get their appetites up, because with broiler chicks, you know, you want to grow them as big as you possibly can. We still got a few in the brooder. I really don't know with this batch of broiler chickens, but we've got half of them that are still not big enough to go out onto pasture or out on the grass. I don't know if that's just a genetic part of that chicken, but we've never had this issue before with the Cornish cross hens. We ordered all roosters because the males get bigger, but regardless, they're not ready to go out, and it's week 5 for us. So we're moving from week 5 into week 6. We're going to get the food ready, so just stick around. We're going to go through this process. We're going to look at some numbers here at the end, and we're going to go feed our they're crazy back there. We're going to go feed our meat birds. Okay, so we weigh out our feed. We are trying to get it close to about, right now we're at 6 pounds. I'm going to go through the breakdown here in just a little bit about ours, but we're trying to get this about 6 pounds. We got these just at the dollar store, and they work really good to help us measure it out. Then we load it into a bucket that's a little bit easier to carry out. And so each chicken tractor gets 6 pounds at right now, based on that 5 to 6 week range, 6 pounds of feed twice a day. Well, if you look behind me, you can see kind of the tractor when we moved them, and also in front. So you can see where we have moved them each day, and there's the latest day. So we've had a lot of rain lately here in North Carolina. It's been like every other day, soaking rain and pouring down rain. But regardless, you still got to move the chickens. All right, so here's a few numbers. On our broiler chicks that we have in the brooder, we literally give them endless supply of feed. We fill it up in the morning, we fill it up in the evenings, and we let them eat when they want to, because we're trying to develop them early on. So they get endless food till about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. Now this group went out a little bit later. Again, everything that we're telling you is worked for us. You're gonna have to take everything with a grain of salt, find out what works for you, but this is just a general plan that works for us. This is our second year doing it. We had really good results last year. And part of it is you're gonna have to dial the food back. You're gonna have to give and take and see how things are going. If they're overeating and getting too big too quick, then of course they're gonna die. But if you're underfeeding them and they're not growing fast enough, then you're not gonna get the quality or the amount of protein, the bigger size birds that you are wanting, especially like us, we're selling. All right, went back and got my laptop just so that I can read off these numbers. I apologize in advance if there's any wind that could be conflicting with the sound. It's kind of humid today. The mosquitoes are pretty bad down by their chickens, just like normal. And of course, I'm getting a text and it's going through my laptop. So these are just numbers that work for us. Again, I have done hours of research. I've watched YouTube videos like you're doing now. I've looked up, North Carolina State University, NC State for us, and their ag department. I went through all their articles. You can look up wherever you want to, but this is what worked for us last year, and we're using it again as a template. So again, like I said, weeks 1 through 3, you can measure it out just to see, but we honestly just let them eat as much as they want. So they have an open buffet until about 3 weeks. Now, this group, again, is growing slower for us, so we're tweaking things a little bit and making sure that we've got our numbers correct. So by week 4, so we put them out onto grass week 4, and there's still some. Now we're on week 5, but we try to average per 100 birds. We are looking at approximately 20 pounds, so 20.57 pounds per 100 birds. And now we are down to, it looks like 46. We lost a few when they were shipped here. We lost a few the first night that we put them out on pasture. We got a ton of rain, and I guess they just didn't know to get out of the rain. So they got wet and cold, and we lost a few, which is not good. So 20.57 pounds for 100 birds. And if we have 2 tractors, we just split that in half. And then you just, basically what we do is we divide that by, we have 46 broiler chickens, and that's how we space out the food and get the number. Week 5, we bump it up to 27.14 pounds. Again, this is just an average. It doesn't have to be exactly like that. If you want to go 27, 26, 28, the key is that you find the right balance, that you don't overfeed or you don't underfeed. And this is what worked for us. Week 6, it bumps up to 33.14, and that's pounds. And that's for 100 birds. So if you got 50 in one tractor, 50 in another, you just divide the feed in half. Week 7, it's up to 39 pounds. 39 pounds per 100 birds. And then week 8, 44.29. So for us, we're down to 46 birds. Again, we are sitting right at 6 pounds per blue bucket, and there's 2 blue buckets. So that equals about 12.5 pounds. So those 6 pounds per chicken tractor twice a day, that's how they get their total 12. We're down to 15.2 pounds next week. Then it goes to 17.94. Then the last week, 20.37. That's all based on the quantity of birds that we have. And that's just what works for us. You can go back and kind of go through these numbers if you want to, but it's all based on that per 100 birds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to show you my laptop, see if that works. If it doesn't, then we'll figure something out. So here you go. There is the breakdown. Okay. You're more than welcome to pause the video, screenshot it, whatever you need to do. But that's what we do. And, you know, we're not trying to hide anything. I mean, everybody is trying to be successful, and if it worked for us, it can work for you. Again, I'm going to warn you, you're going to have to tweak it based on your birds, and you're going to have to monitor them on a daily basis. If they start getting too big too soon, just dial it back and then record it. So I try to document everything. I had my 2023 numbers, I documented everything, and then we're repeating that process this year. But there's always room for error. There's always room for improvement. And that's just what works for us. So when it comes to how much do you feed your birds, that's what works for us. Again, we give them endless feed till they're 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old, going out on the grass. And then they love getting out on the grass. This group, I don't know, maybe it's because we got them out on some really good grass this year, but they are loving it. And we got the food that is based on their tractor. So we're up to 6 pounds per tractor. That's 12 pounds total, and that's based on our 46 birds. So I hope this helps you. Again, do your own research. We're learning from other people. We watch Sow the Land, Just a Few Acres Farms, all kinds of people who have gone before us and kind of paved the way so that we can learn from them and not repeat the same mistakes maybe they made, or learn from them. And hopefully you guys are able to learn from us. So hopefully this helps you if you're raising meat birds, figure out how much feed to feed your birds. And appreciate you guys joining and subscribing to our channel, and we'll see you on the next video. And if the up close of the laptop doesn't work, just send me an email to flatgapfarm@gmail.com. That's right. You tell them.